Hey everybody, it's True Top Flyer here. Thanks for tuning in. We are back at the bench today, and video I got for you, I wanted to share with you something kind of fun. Lee has recently added to the lineup these micrometer seating stems, and it's something that I've never chased before. If it came on a product, that was fine, but I never purchased a product because of that, or really purchased them. I guess I can't actually say that I did get some of these Hornady stems back in a while. I don't think they're making these anymore, so I grabbed a couple for some of the Hornady dies that I had. But for the most part, it's never been something that I really valued. And one of the reasons for that is they added quite a bit of expense. And the other part is that they don't really make your reloading any more accurate. What they do is they make your adjustments more accurate. So it makes it easier for you to get on target with your seating depth and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's a nice feature, something that I've never really looked into even very much, but here we are. So I actually purchased one I wanted to see them. So I bought one for the 9mm. That's this one right here. And I was so impressed with it that I just went back and started looking at all the new stuff that they had recently added. And I just bought a little sampling of everything to try. And so far, really impressed. And that's why I'm making this video, and that's what I want to share with you today. All right, let's start with your basic seating dies. So they make 3 different versions to accommodate their dies. By the way, these are for Lee dies only. Everything I'm going to show you here is Lee only, so you can't cross over to something else. But so they make a rifle. And then they make one I don't have here. It's a little bit different for, I think it's 350 Legend, probably 4570, straight wall, bigger than 35 caliber cases is what the instructions say. So there's one I don't have here, but there's a third one. If you're looking to use it on one of those cases, you want to explore that a little bit. But the reason they're different is because Lee used different style seating pins. So this is my 9mm. So here's what the seating stem looks like. It's got this little top to it here, and it's made to go, it just pushes down directly on it like so. And then the rifle is actually hollow so that the seating stem slips in like so. So the conversion is super easy. I mean, it doesn't really need explanation, but you just take this old style adjuster knob out, leave your seating stem in. By the way, I think the 35 caliber one looks a lot like this. It's just a shorter seating stem. Anyway, and then you just thread it together like so. It's nice and snug, fits tight. That's basically it. I just modified it. There it is. So same thing on the rifle, same thing on all of them. Now let me give you a good look at this here. See if you can, we can focus up there. Look at the markings on it. It's aluminum. The housing and everything is aluminum. There is a force feel to it. So I guess you call it artificial feel. So it's, it stays where you put it. It requires force to be able to turn it. So what's nice is you're not going to bump it and throw it off, rub your hand against it or whatever and change your settings. So it stays pretty good. I think you can pretty much say that these will stay in place in your die box. What else? Yeah, like I said, these are all aluminum, really nice material, really nicely marked. I'll give you here's a fairly expensive writing die. And actually the marking is a little bit clearer. These are laser, and I think these are engraved, but they're totally functional, all of them. But really nice work here by Lee. Nice product, well thought out. What else? Yeah, so I was saying that there's a little bit of force feel. This is a Hornady stem here. See, this is a Hornady die. And you can literally just bump these and turn them. Now Hornady makes a new one now. It's like it's got clicks on it, so it's not gonna move around as easy as this one is. but it's like 90 bucks. I don't foresee me getting one of those. Sorry, Hornady, but all you really need to do is just stiffen up this one so it doesn't move. I still use these. They're great. But yeah, and I guess the other thing that is really cool about all this stuff, because it's Lee stuff, it's inexpensive. So these, you can find these stems for about 15 bucks. I actually paid less than that with shopping around, but they're all inexpensive. Okay, so that pretty much covers your seeding stems. Now the next one up is a bit of a conversion for your Lee Factory crimp die. So this is going to require a little bit more explanation. So this particular stem comes, or these stems come in, they're caliber specific. So this stem is for 44 and 45. So the crimp die I have is my 45 ACP crimp die. So what this does is it allows you to add a bullet seeding function to your Lee Factory crimp die. So it's no longer just a standalone crimp die. It can also do bullet seeding. Now, this will be a little confusing because your standard seeding dies have always had a crimp feature in them, particular handguns. So that is, you might be going, well, I already have that in this. Why can't I just use that? And you can. I've already done it. But the one thing that you're missing in the Lee lineup is you're missing, I'm going to get this in here and try to give you a good look. You're missing this carbide ring right here on your factory crimp die. This is sort of your last chance carbide ring. And what it does is, since your crimp is your last, die position or last function, it's going to run that carbide ring down your completed case, and it's going to kind of iron out any bumps or anything that developed while you were doing your reloading. So these don't have that. So that's the one thing. You can use this feature and the new stems, just like, where you're seeding and crimping in the same motion, but it's not quite as nice as being able to use the one with the carbide ring. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Now let's take this part and take a look at how it works. Kind of do the exploded view. So we're going to use, you've seen these already, they use them on everything. So we'll take the adjustment knob out, take a look at the sleeve here. So this is the crimp side of the sleeve. It's hollow, right? So this thing's going to come down here, and now the body of this, the part that's threaded here, is going to provide the pressure to put for the crimp. So you turn the whole body down using these threads and then lock it with this nut, and that's going to position your crimp where you want it. Now you can see that the bullet seeder right here passes right through, and it's going to reach down and push that bullet in at the same time. So, that's kind of how it works. So the bullet seating is adjusted up here with the micrometer part, and the body of the die controls the amount of crimp. Now, obviously, combining those two is a little tricky. Like I said, as you're closing the mouth of the case, you're still pushing to get that last few thousandths of bullet seating. So you're working against yourself a little bit, but it does work okay. It's a little bit tricky when you adjust it, because let's say I get it set and I'm close, but I think I want a little bit more crimp. So I roll the whole thing down. Well, now I'm pushing my bullet seating down at the same time, so I'm going to have to back that up a little bit. So setup is a little bit, it's not hard, it's easy, but a little bit more complicated than the other ones. But you do get an added feature. Okay, so we'll put it together. I'll just roll it in here, show you what it looks like. And then we tighten this part down, and now we're jammed, and then the rest is bullet seating. So that's that. Now, I would not recommend this with your cast bullets, coated cast bullets. I did a little trial with it, and not the worst thing, but you can see that I've got I'm missing a ring all the way around where it was doing that part where it's crimping and seating at the same time. So it scraped a little bit. But for your jacketed bullets, I think it's perfectly fine. I don't think you even notice it. last thing I'll say about this is, where would you use this? Well, it's nice to use if you want to save a stroke. So if you want to separate the seating from the crimping into one feature, that's going to save you a stroke of the handle. So if you're on let's say for instance that you are on a Lee classic turret press. You want to combine those two functions into one die position. That gives you room to go back and add, say, a bullet feeder. So that's a nice option for the 4-hole turret press folks. Again, anywhere on a single stage press, if I'm doing something a little bit high volume, I'm definitely going to look into doing this because it's one less step, right? I get two for the price of one there. Again, I don't think it's quite as neat and nice as it is when you're using the separate crimp die, but you know, I guess bottom line is, you know, what's old is new again. Okay, last but not least, Lee has created a whole new line of rifle seating dies. I looked through the caliber list or cartridge list. I have very wide coverage already. So it's a fairly new product, but they're all over it. So this is different for them in the past. First of all, it comes all set up with a micro seater, micro adjustment. So that's a nice feature. Everything you see here is the way it comes. This is not modified in any way, except for the pre-chuck bushing that I have installed on it. But other than that, that's the way it comes. Now, here's the kind of a cool part of it. Inside here, there is a floating bullet alignment guide that slides back and forth. So we've seen this in other dies manufacturers before. Here's a version of Hornady. They've been doing this for a long time. And Lee has just added this to theirs. This one's even a little bit more unique in some ways because, so I'm going to show you this. This piece comes out. So you take a case and you got a little deformed case like this, and you just kind of mash it up in there. And then while it's stuck, you can kind of carefully unscrew like I'm doing here. And if I hold my mouth right, maybe. Oh, it's not cooperating. Come on, man. Do the thing. There it goes. This plug will unscrew. Now the die body has some threads right there at the opening. And then nothing, it's just slick on the rest of the way up. So you just have to get past those threads. Those threads are what keep the bushing from falling out. Now, here's the other trick. If you have it installed like I did, it functions very much as a dead length cedar die with no crimp in it, which is what I prefer. But you can turn this around, and then this side will actually give you a crimp if a crimp is desired, and that you have to adjust for. So really well thought out, kind of genius actually. Now here's the other trick with this. It's really cool. This doggone thing is $22. That's a lot of machining for $22 if you ask me. So anyway, I just want to make you aware that these are out there. If you look for them, you can find them on their page. They're kind of hard to search for. So if you go to Lee's website and you look for these, they'll be in the new product section as of making this video. And you can look and pick the caliber you want, look up the number, and then go search for it on another website. So you look for the catalog number is how I found this one. And I ordered this one from Titan Reloading. So last thing I'll say about this bullet seating die is I put together some cartridges and took some measurements, and it was spot on, and the concentricity was pretty much perfect. So yeah, it does a great job. All right, just to close this out here, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it. I really appreciate all the likes and subscribes. Because of likes, subscribes, and views, it's how I'm able to do more of this kind of stuff. So I really do appreciate that. And also, I have a Rumble channel. I always invite you guys to come over and sign up over there for obvious reasons. Same name, Treetop Flyer. Anyway, God bless, and thanks for watching. Take care.